Just a pop-up live in the garden. The bees are pollinating. Now this is my pak choi that I let go to seed. I'm hoping that in the next 2 weeks I can get some seed pods. We will see. But let's look at the Arizona desert garden. Now this is my second planting of brassicas in here. And as you can see over there, that one's already got a broccoli on. So that's kind of fun. But this is the main garden. And I've let some of this stuff go to seed, so hopefully before we go, I'll be able to collect some things and harvest more Brussels sprouts. Now, if you haven't ever had a Brussels sprout, it's kind of like, it's a brassica, so it's kind of like a cabbage, a miniature cabbage. And I'm harvesting more cabbages today just so that I can share with my neighbors. You always want them hard and firm. Like I can't squeeze that one at all, so it's ready to get harvested. And I have a couple over here that they went to seed. It was crazy. Peas are doing good, and I have saved a bunch of the peas so I could bring them home because they were just so delicious. The celery is good. This is my compost pile. So I've just been throwing things in. It gets piled way up and sinks way down. Look at these hollyhocks. That's right, they're as tall as the house. I was hoping that they would open, but they still have not opened. But this is what a flower head looks like. And this is a mixed variety. It has a lot of different colors. My lemongrass is actually going to make some seed over there. Bananas are down there. Let's go there and then we'll come back to the garden. These leaves are ginormous on the hollyhocks. Now I planned on cutting this, but it's going to go to seed, so I'm going to save the seeds first. And then I'm just going to chop this down before we go. Now you might think this is Queen Anne's lace, but it's actually carrots from last year. And my little fig that I thought had completely died has started to leaf out again. So I'm happy about that. Let's go see if we can find any artichokes lurking. Oh, look at down there. There's an artichoke coming. Yay! There's an artichoke right there. There's more over there. Oh yeah, it's working. Banana trees. Now I cut the 2 trees that were right here. They were volunteers. We never planted them. Now you might ask what this beautiful plant is. This is a bottle brush. And see, it's just starting to open. And when it gets fully open, that section will look like a bottle brush, a bright red bottle brush. And this is a mother of millions. And I've talked about this plant before. And it's where it has all these little spaces in between the variegated and the edges. Is going to make little babies. Millions of babies. It's crazy. Now, here's my avocado, which was having a hard time because it was so shaded out by those trees. There's a box elder bug. And overspray from the neighbors. But new leaves, it'll be okay now that those trees are down. And I actually think this little lemon will come back to life too. I think those trees were just shading it and they just couldn't have any, were taking all the nutrients, all the water. And I'm going to prune down my popcorn bush. Yeah, that's right. Now, I don't know why, guys, I can't see any chat. So if you're making comments, I can't see. Baby bananas. I did try digging up a couple because the neighbor wanted them. But they just wouldn't survive. Carrots, carrots, carrots. Oh, that's a little pineapple. let's go back to the garden. I'm going to pick my bananas before we leave, and I'm going to take them with us. They're not very big, but one of my friends was saying that he really thinks that's just the way they're going to be. But I am excited about my artichokes. I'm going to pick some of those before I go. Eat them up. But isn't this interesting with the lemongrass? This is the first time I've had it go to seed. Last year when we came back, I had it in a different spot, and it was about 8 feet tall, but it never went to seed. But I did cut it down probably earlier. I just love those hollyhocks. They're going towards the sun. Okay, we're back in the main garden. Let me see if I click this button. Oh, I can see the chat now. Hey, Julie, how are ya? Okay, so these are celeries. An interesting thing about here, when I grow celeries back home, they are much thicker. Look how thin those are. But they are so strong and powerful. Some cilantro going to seed. Got a broccoli I can pick soon. And these petunias have been fabulous. And some onions. There's some more red tomatoes. If you're sitting in the snow today and you're wishing you had some fresh tomatoes, come on over and I will give you some of mine. We made tomato soup the other day from them. Well, let's go grab this one down here. Now these type of tomatoes, I didn't grow from seed, these ones. I got them at the nursery. They're not large, but they are really tasty. I mean, you can just eat them just like this. Snapdragons, you guys know, one of my favorites. And these were my green onions that I got from the store. I decided to let some of them go to seed. You know, me collecting seeds, that's pretty normal. Calendulas, peppers, tomatoes, brassicas. It's been a fun little garden, and I love that sound of bees. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but I love the sound of the bees. So lots of Brussels sprouts, broccolis, cabbages to harvest. I can probably pull some of those carrots too. Dirt that's going to go into the garden. Let's go over this fence. I have that fence. Oh, everybody's popping in. Awesome. These are just some little tomatoes from seed. I'm actually going to dig these up because the tomato plants aren't very big. And beautiful, beautiful sunflowers. Lots of onions and tomatoes we've been harvesting from over here. Sunflowers just make me happy. This is my little clementine. Actually, some of the clementines have set, and so I should have a few of them. But look over here. This is my pride and joy of my citrus. This is my ponderosa lemon. Now, I have one that I haven't harvested yet. It's not a huge one. I mean, it's huge compared to most lemons, but it's not a huge one. But look at all these ponderosa lemons that have set. They're all over the place. Here's one that's not even ripe yet. That's about a 1.5 pounder. I know it's kind of hard to tell when you're doing a video, but look at all these nasturtiums underneath. They just grow wherever they want to, and the hummingbirds love them. Sometimes I'll be out here and I'll just watch the hummingbirds go to flower to flower to flower to flower. Now the only thing that isn't blooming right now of my citrus is my blood orange. I got pansies around this one, but I'm hoping even after we leave, maybe it will flower. And hello everybody that's popping in the chat. And I took all my towers down already. But all of these are flowering, all these other citruses. Now, I put snapdragons around these two citruses, which I'm going to do with all of the citruses next year. Except for where the nasturtiums are, because they just come up themselves from the seeds. But I just love the way it looks. And I just got, you know, different colors. They have them in about 10 different colors you can choose from. From very purpley to reds to yellows to whites, multicolored oranges, and I'm just going to pick those. But very fun. Now this is going to turn into my cactus garden. I had towers here earlier, but I pulled those all up already, and I'm going to block that off and just have cacti in this part. It gets very hot, and so I might as well take advantage of that heat. Now let's go look at the giant pumpkins. Oh, if you hear that noise in the background, Joe got a free toolbox, and he had to replace the latches, and so he is riveting new latches on there. So here's my biggest one. This morning it was 42 inches around. You see how I have a tape measure that's underneath of it. I don't know if I can get that. There we go. See, 42 inches around. That one over there is not far behind it. There's a couple other smaller ones in here. There's actually 5 total. This one is a French pumpkin that has warts. I thought it would get bigger, but it really hasn't done much. Though the vine is growing a lot more now. Other parts of the garden. And my potatoes. This eggplant has grown since last year. And I've harvested some of these, given them to people too. More snapdragons. Who knows what this is? Chamomile. That's right. It comes back each year. A ruby red grapefruit right there. And my roses have been spectacular this year. And here's a watermelon. I'm not going to get any watermelons this year, but that's okay. But that's really a quick look at the garden. I was out and I was seeing what I could harvest this morning, and I thought, I'm just going to bring everybody along. So I hope you like the short Arizona garden tour. And I'm going to go to work doing stuff in the garden. In the 90s today. It was supposed to be 100, but they've changed that to Monday and Tuesday now. We're having a fire in the fire pit tonight. Some of the friends and mom and dad. So I hope you have a great Easter weekend. Bye, everybody.